Hi YouTube, this is Brittany.
And I'm Richard.
And this is our tiny house. We've been living in our tiny house now for 4 months, and we wanted to do an updated tour of what has changed, what's new, and what's happening.
So we built our tiny house. It's on a 18 by 8 foot tiny home builder's trailer, which we purchased online. It is 118 square feet on the interior with an 83 foot square loft. And we also have a storage loft, which is about 25 square feet or so.
So I'd say overall we're about 200 square feet. So the reason Richard and I decided to go tiny, well, there's many reasons, but one of them is for financial reasons. So we were able to build this tiny house that's including the building materials, the labor, the trailer, everything for $35,000. While that may seem like a lot of money for such a tiny house, if you think about it, some people would buy cars for more than that, and we have a full house. Another reason we decided to do this is because it's on wheels. So right now we're in Chicago, and we don't want to be in Chicago forever. So this gives us the luxury of moving our home with us when we do decide we're ready to go. Another good reason we did this is it has a smaller square footage, like it's less impact on the planet. It took a lot less building materials than it would to build like a full-size house.
Alright, now we'll show you around our 100% completed tiny house as we're living in it right now. And we, in the near future, or once we get to our permanent setting, will install solar power and our rainwater harvesting system that will install along the roof.
And then we'll be totally off-grid. Yay! Alright, so let's start the tour with our front door. We did decide to go with a big glass front door, so essentially it's just like another window. And then when it's really hot and we're trying to block the heat, I just put in a curtain here so we can just close that off. We also have windows on each wall of the house. We did try to do 1 to 2 windows per wall. These are tempered glass windows, which is totally essential when you are going to be taking your house down the road. So you'll see we'll have one here on each corner. Another important aspect was installing a ceiling fan, and this helps us reduce our energy usage because we're not needing to use air conditioning. We're perfectly fine just by using our ceiling fan. It helps keep it cool in here. So that's that corner of the house. Let's go ahead and go upstairs. So we did decide to go with stairs simply for ease of use. We can get up and down stairs very easily without being on a ladder. And also for our cats as well, so they can quickly get up the stairs and join us in bed. Alright, so let's go upstairs. You'll see we have 2 more windows right here. So this is Richard and I's bedroom. We have more than enough headroom up here, so from the floor to the ceiling peak right here is 3 feet and 7 inches. And then our bed is about 1 foot, so we have about 2.7, which is enough for us. We have a skylight here that opens. This really helps us get some good ventilation up here when it's hot. We also have this little mini fan, so when it is really hot in here, as it was like a couple months ago and this past month, we're able to just blow this on us at nighttime to help us sleep in the heat. We also have a window at the far end of our bed. All of this here is our clothing storage. Kind of like extra clothes, and this is my main clothes storage. And then we have these 2 bins here. This is Tony Kitty's favorite nap spot. So that's our bedroom. You'll see we have a catwalk that runs in between the 2 lofts, and that's simply so the cats can run from one loft to the other and have full access to the storage loft. That's our storage loft. It's, as Richard mentioned earlier, 3-foot storage loft. Gives us more than enough space for all of our extra stuff that we don't want to get rid of. That's upstairs. So this is our couch solution that we found. This is just like a trundle bed that we found at a thrift store for $20. It's great because it has these big, huge pull-out drawers, so we can keep extra storage in here. And then we just have like a foam mattress on the top for sitting. Eventually we're going to like sew a nice cushion and get like a new back cushion, but for now we're just using pillows until we figure that out. And then under our stairs we have a pretty full-size closet. We have our little like computer station that we roll out so we can sit on the couch and watch movies together. We also have our ladder, and that's what we use to get up into the storage loft when we need to pull things down. And then in here we just have like extra electronics, extra shoes, our food dehydrator. There's our little mini vacuum cleaner that really saves the day. And it seems small, but you can fit a lot of stuff in there. I'm really glad that we decided to go with one big open closet versus like the custom like cabinets and drawers, because we can just fit bigger items in there. I think that was a good decision on our part. Alright. And then we have one more closet. This is our food pantry. We have 2 shelves here. We keep all of our food, kind of like our dried grains and things up on this shelf, and then down here is pretty much just our fruit storage, and then our cat food. You'll see in the bottom is our cat box, and then the kitties have the door so they can go in between and get in and out of there just fine. And then, so one thing I want to touch on is our trash. So this is our only trash can in our house, and we empty it anywhere from once every 1 to 3 months so far. And most people in the US produce 4 pounds of trash a day. So this is for both Richard and I think that's pretty remarkable that we've cut our trash down so much. So something we decided we really needed was a, not full-size fridge, but a larger fridge. We do have an apartment-sized fridge that is 10 cubic feet. We find this works perfectly for us. It does get a little tight when we do our grocery shopping once a week, but we make it work. And ways that we kind of make this work better is we keep frozen blocks of ice in our freezer, and this helps keep it colder in there and like take up more of the surface area, because we don't really ever have much in our freezer, so that just kind of helps keep it running smoother. Then our fridge, if you want to, this is our fridge. You can see it's mainly just full of kombucha, fruit, and greens, which is how we like to do it. And then we just have like extra storage up here for like fruits and whatnot. Alright, so one of the reasons we're able to keep our trash so low is because we practice composting here. So we have a 5-gallon bucket with a screw on lid, and in here we put our fruit and vegetable scraps, and then once this gets full we take it out to our compost pile in the yard, and that's a great way to do it. We also have a vermicomposting bin here, which means there's like thousands of worms in here, and we feed them some of our food scraps, and this is something we did even in our apartment before we had a full composting pile, and it's something anybody can do at home. And your worms will eat the food and like the newspaper pieces you put in there and turn it into black gold, which is like the best gardening stuff you could use. And we also practice composting toilet. I'll get to that when we move into the bathroom. I want to now touch on our water usage. So you'll see here we have a Berkey water filtration system. This is really great because you can use tap water, you can use pond water, rainwater, anything. You can put it in there and it will filter it out, removing all the chemicals. It does remove fluoride, chlorine, chloride, and many other harmful things that are found in our tap water, leaving it just like pure, and it still has its minerals in it. So it's very healthy water. And we practice gray water in our house. That means that we're basically just like not using any chemical cleaners at all in our home. We use biodegradable soap, so we can just dump the water in the yard. And what we use is Sal Suds by Dr. Bronner's, and then in the shower we use just Dr. Bronner's soap, and they both work really well. Most people usually use, I believe it's 80 to 100 gallons per day here in the US of water. Richard and I estimate we're using 20 to 30 gallons a day. That's about 3 gallons a day for drinking and cooking water, and then the rest will be from doing dishes and showering. Okay, so this is our bathroom. So as of today, we finally have our hot water heater hooked up, and we're using a propane on-demand hot water heater. It's right down there, and it works great. We both showered in here today, and we had hot water for our entire showers. I want to say we both took about a 5-minute shower each. So you'll see here in our bathroom, it's all metal. And what we do is we just have this hooked up with magnets. And then when we're done showering, we just clip it over on this wall so it can dry. And we have a low flow shower head that does help us reduce our water usage. So another important aspect of our bathroom is our composting toilet. We learned about this system in the Human Manure Handbook. Essentially, it's just a 5-gallon bucket with sawdust in the bottom of it, and then as we use the toilet, we just add more sawdust onto what we added into the toilet. And this helps save us water as well. The common toilets, like flush toilets, take anywhere from 1.6 gallons to 7 gallons per flush. So we're saving a lot of water this way. It's also a great way to recycle nutrients, as you would say. So we're using this out in our composting compost pile along with like our fruit and vegetable scraps, and we're getting it to thermophilic composting conditions, which means we're heating it up above 140 degrees for more than 2 days, and that makes it safe. And then of course you age it for at least a year before you use the actual finished compost. Alright, so this is the exterior of our house. You'll see here we have a exterior power hookup. We have our incoming power. This is a 30 amp RV cord that most people use with their RVs. So if we do ever end up in an RV park, we'll simply be able to plug in with this. And we have an adapter from 30 to 15 amps so we can plug into the house power, like outside of the house that we're staying behind. We have our incoming water line here. And our outgoing, this is our gray water system. You'll see here we have just like a tote bucket under here. This is a 17-gallon bucket, and Richard and I are together filling it 1.5 times a day. You also see our incoming propane line, and we have our propane tank right under the house here. And then one other thing we do hang dry our clothes on a clothesline now. And that's a great way to save some electricity. Thank you guys for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed the tour. I know we sure love living in our tiny house. It's like the best thing we've ever done before. If you have any questions for us about like the logistics of our house or anything at all, please just leave it in the comments below and we'll get back to you just as soon as we can. Thank you.